Alrighty, people, how we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we living? How we feeling? Thursday night football. We've got a divisional matchup. Means so much to the division. Obviously, Packers versus Lions. If the Packers don't win this, the division is pretty much the Lions. If they do win this, they're just one game out. So it's going to be a fun game. A lot of you guys have very relevant fantasy names in leagues that you need to win tonight. So we're going to do our best to answer all your questions and keep you updated with any sort of news and notes from around the league that has the potential to change your week. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. You gotta love a hater to begin the stream. If I don't have haters, I'm doing something wrong. So I love to see it. We see all you guys in the chat though. What's up, Jalen? What's up, Chris, Coco, Low Lights? We appreciate.
Isn't it? Like, what's your YouTube channel? What channel? Where do you put yourself?
Yeah,
I would like to follow it.
No, I used to be really annoyed by haters, but now I actually feel like I'm doing something right if I have them. Yeah, sorry, babe. There's like stains all over it because of that medicine.
Yeah.
But all right, we appreciate y'all for being here. What's up, Daniel Macy? Welcome in. Let's start off with some news and notes. All right, so we'll go through any news and notes that has changed. Now, if you guys want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through our website. Anytime we go live and there are questions on the website, that is the first place that we will go. It's the pinned comment, and I also just put it in there for you. But once we're done on the website, we'll come over to YouTube, obviously, and answer all your questions there. But again, if you want to prioritize, YouTube's the best place to do it. Or sorry, Flock Fantasy is the best place to do it. That website that I just put in the chat. And if you don't have an account yet, you can create one for free with the promo code LAND, LAND at sign up. You get a couple things like the premium tools for free. But let's get updated with some news and notes. Tyler Higbee fully practices Thursday. I don't really think this impacts much for fantasy football.
No.
Colby Parkinson is dead, but that's about it. Demarcus Robinson is practicing. Ladd McConkey is limited twice in a row, which is a good sign, I'd say. I'd like to see him get a full participation in tomorrow, but that's good news. Dallas Goedert is not practicing. I do not project him to play. This is obviously a big boost for you, Devonta Smith, who sometimes is like a second or third option. So that's a little bit of a boost for him as he gets a full participation in. CeeDee Lamb did not practice, but there are reports that he's expecting to play.
Yep.
I wonder if Underdog is going to show us those, but yes, he is. He says he's expected to play. Mike Evans also said he was expected to play, even though he didn't practice. Bucky Irving, I don't really know an update on just yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if they're just being smart with these players. Bucky came back into the game last week, so I'd be surprised if he doesn't play. Jacoby Myers, Aiden O'Connell, and Zamir White all don't practice again Thursday. I actually need Aiden O'Connell in a Superflex league, so I'd appreciate it if he, if he could just chill out. Breece Hall doesn't practice with a knee injury. So this is an interesting one. I think we're going to have to follow all week long. Clearly he was slightly limited last week with that injury.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what to tell you guys about him right now. We do need more updates at this point.
All I would say is you kind of saw this last week. I think if I'm not mistaken, he didn't practice on Thursday. Practices on Friday in full or in a limited fashion. And then he plays on Sunday, but like Zach said, he did have a limited role in the game. It's probably going to be somewhat similar, potentially coming into this week as well.
Definitely could be. Cedric Tillman not practicing again. This would be his second game missed from the concussion, which happened on Thursday night. So definitely interesting to follow. Remember, Malik Neighbors had a similar situation, so it's a possibility. Good news is, they reported that CeeDee Lamb is expected to play. Keenan Allen fully practices. DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift did not practice. Jake Ferguson cleared concussion protocol, so he'll be out there. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all the news that we need to update you guys on. So, again, appreciate y'all big time. Let's get to these questions here, the start-sit questions, and any questions you have through the website, we will prioritize here first. Pats for Life is starting Jalen Hurts. We gave him a free voucher yesterday because he wasn't, he didn't know exactly how to fill the question out. So we've got Jalen Hurts there, and at quarterback 2, we're definitely going to start Jared Goff. I'm assuming this is a super flex league. We'll start him tonight. RB1 is Chase Brown. RB2, you got a big old question mark there.
RB2 is tough here.
Between Kareem and Sincere. I might lean Sincere here. Simply because there's a chance that he takes over that backfield. It's not a good matchup for these Chiefs running backs anyway. So I just don't see a reason not to take a chance on Sincere over Kareem Hunt. Sincere has a chance to be the lead back. I don't think Kareem has that same opportunity anymore. So that's my rationale there.
Yeah, look, I would agree there. I would agree. Let's go Sincere. Not a good matchup, obviously, but yeah, not a good matchup. Alexander Madison looked like he's going to be coming back this week. I think Samir White doesn't practice, so that's kind of some upside. You're starting Jerry Jeudy, and then you also have Shakir, Juwan Jennings, and Tyreek Hill. For me, this will be Juwan Jennings over Tyreek Hill.
Okay. I would start Tyreek, but I definitely understand the reason someone would want to start Juwan Jennings. I think they're very close. They should be very close in rankings. This is a start 8, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm guessing you didn't add your flex spot. I'm not sure, but
if there is a flex spot, then we would just then start Tyreek and Juwan Jennings.
Yeah. What about Shakir? You're not going to start Shakir?
I would still start Juwan and Tyreek Hill over Shakir still.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Pats, when you have a chance, man, I would really suggest to link up your teams. All right, it's going to make your life way easier if you link up your teams in the My Teams section. All right, so you come over here, you click Add New, ESPN, Sleeper, Yahoo, link up your league, and then when you actually go to ask a start sit question, all your settings are going to be filled out for you. So you don't have to manually add your starting lineup. All you need to do is tell us who you're considering. Click the considering button for each position. That's going to make your life easier, and it's going to give us an opportunity to answer your question as best as we possibly can. But hopefully that was helpful. Pats for life, we appreciate you big time. Next question here from Nico Dem J.
So this is the playoff game, apparently. You put that in the messages. Okay. So obviously that's actually a good, really quick note. If you are going to submit questions either today or throughout the weekend, as we do go live on Saturday night, tell us if this is your playoff game that starts this week, because a lot of leagues do start playoffs in week 14, even though we don't recommend it. But let us know so that we actually, it's a must win, it's a playoff game, etc., etc. Nico, appreciate you. You're starting Caleb, Kyron, Tyrone, Tyreek, Darnell, Money Mooney, Trey McBride, and you are considering Breece Hall, and that's exactly where we would go there. I know he is questionable. He hasn't practiced, but I mean, there's no one else there.
Ramondre's
really.
on bye. Nico's on bye. So you don't really have another option.
If Breece Hall doesn't play, maybe
I would just put Kamani in there if Breece Hall doesn't play.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna go, Kamani, but he didn't really do much last time, did he?
No
one's gonna do much in any of these games, but yeah, I'll go Kamani there as well. Appreciate you, Nico.
My only change, Nico, is I would probably start Kyler Murray over Caleb Williams. Right now, you have Caleb Williams in there. I know Kyler has been a little boom bust, but I just trust him a little bit more, especially with that rushing floor. We've got Caleb Williams facing the the San Francisco 49ers. It's not a bad matchup. I mean, the Niners defense is pretty banged up. But I just trust Kyler a little bit more with my playoff hopes on the line. And, if you don't trust him, I can understand why you would want to sit him. Do what's best for you. But if it were me, I'd be starting Kyler Murray. And this is why having your playoff start in Week 14 is so stupid. Because this person who made their way into the playoffs is starting Sincere McCormick over Nico Collins. Please, I'm begging anyone out there with a rational mind, stop putting fantasy playoffs starting in Week 14. You are smarter than that, all right? Nico, you can send this to your commissioner, all right? This is the dumbest thing people do in fantasy football, and I will never come off this pedestal. It is the dumbest thing that you could possibly do in fantasy football, all right? Week 14 playoffs, it's ridiculous. It should be outlawed. All right, Sam I am.
Play Tank Dell or Allen, got Vidal, Cormick, Abdullah, Love. Okay, so let's have a look. Gino, Tank, Tyrone. I mean, Tank is a tough one already. Um, I would actually start Braylon over Tank. I'm not sure about you.
I'm fine with it. I'm
Um,
no strong opinion on that, so
yeah,
I'm fine with that.
CD. And the only reason why, just to give the edge, is because Reese is dealing with an injury. We saw a little bit more opportunity for Braylon last week. Maybe that is the same thing going into this week. You start CD, Lab McConkey if he plays, and then you start George Kittle here, in my opinion, at
Yeah,
the tight end position.
I agree. George Kittle's got to be the start. Are you? Yeah, we're playing Mooney over. Yeah, we're playing Mooney over all those other guys. So
Yeah.
yeah, if Vlad McConkey doesn't play, he looks like he's on track to play. But if he doesn't, you can flex Kate Otten
You can flex Kate on exactly. So
or Debo if you want to just say fuck it YOLO. But that's a tough YOLO right now. Pin Stizzy. Again, if you guys want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through our website. I'll put a link in the chat for you now. It's also the pinned comment. No obligation. We will come over to YouTube once we're done here. But, it's a better experience for you guys through the website. It's a better experience for us. YouTube takes 30% of your donations when you donate through Super Chats. It's a better experience for you. If you don't have a free account yet on Flock Fantasy, you can get one using the promo code LAND. When you sign up with our promo code LAND, LAND, you'll get the My Teams feature for free where you can kind of sync up your team and see where you stand amongst expert consensus rankings, a calculator, all that, you can get as a thank you. But Pin Stizzy is the next one here. Chuba Hubbard or Parker Washington at the flex. They've got Baker Mayfield at quarterback 1. They're not showing us any other options, so I'm assuming flex is the only thing they want help with. And they haven't added any of those players to the flex for us to choose.
Nah, but I guess he just put that in the chat there. So Chuba Hubbard or Parker in the flex, and I will go Chuba Hubbard. I know it's a tough matchup. He's playing against the Eagles this week. They should be down, but we said that 2 weeks ago against the Chiefs, and he put up over 15 fantasy points, if I'm not mistaken. And Parker Washington did have a good game, but I think I just need to see it again. If I have to go with the most consistent player throughout this year, it's Chuba.
I would not be surprised at all if Parker Washington ends up being the better play. Wouldn't surprise me at all. I really don't like this matchup for Chuba. And last time he faced Kansas City, we didn't have to worry about Jonathan Brooks being a factor. His snap share is going up, his opportunities are going up, and specifically through the air. If you take away targets for Chuba Hubbard, you are touchdown or bust at that point. That's a little scary for me. I do still agree with you that he's the best option, but I'm just saying I would not be surprised if Parker Washington ends up having an even safer floor in a PPR format. But we are going to go Chuba.
That makes sense.
And we're not going to watch the game because it could be tough. All right, the Great Baboon.
Oh boy.
Go ahead.
12-man PPR tight end premium. If I'm in. Fly with Wicks. Okay, let's have a look here. Bryce Young, Brock Purdy, Breece Hall, Travis Etienne. Travis Etienne. Will you start Charbonnet or Tyler Algier over Etienne?
Not unless the guy behind them is out.
Say that again?
Not unless the guy behind them is out. I think if Bucky Irving doesn't go, Tucker's a better option.
Sure.
But yeah, I would start Travis over Sharbs and Algier if both of their RB1s are healthy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to start any of these guys, but
I know Kenneth Walker was limited, but I don't think it was anything serious. Yeah, I wouldn't want to start any of these guys. Drake London, George Pickens, Brian Thomas, and then at the tight end, Jonnu Smith at the flex. You're starting Jerry Jeudy, and considering Wicks, Dalton Kincaid, Juwan Jennings. Yeah, I mean, for me here, looking at your options.
Be Will Disley for me.
There's no one here that I'm confident at all.
No, definitely not.
I think
Will Disley has the best setup, I think, against Kansas City, who's a decent matchup against tight ends. I think they'll need him in that divisional game. Wicks is boom bust, so you can put him in there. He can have 25 or he can have 3. There's no in between.
Yeah, I agree. You have to go Will Disley here. Start to both of those tight ends. Agreed. Say less.
Yeah, that's a tough one, the Great Baboon. If you have a feeling about Dontavian Wicks, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna tell you not to start him, but it's just. I mean, I haven't even thought of Dontavian Wicks in a while because he burnt me so bad. I loved him. And what has he done recently? I mean, he's had, since week 6, one game over 10 points. Yeah, it's just too tough to trust him right now, to be honest with you. All right, I do think we have another question here.
Yeah, we do, from Mr. Anderson. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Josh Allen, Kyler Murray at the running back position. You have, I'm gonna be starting Tyrone Tracy there.
Yep.
At the RB2 position, all three of these guys I don't want to start this week. I'm gonna go with the same context and go with Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't want to start any of them either, but
yeah,
we're gonna roll Chuba out there and hope for the best.
At wide receiver, let's go Malik Neighbors. Let's go T. Higgins. Let's go Jaden Reed. At the tight end position, I'm going to go Jonnu Smith. And at the flex, let's put Marvin Harrison Jr. in there.
Yes, I would like to find a way to get Calvin in there. But with Neighbors, I know he was dealing with that groin again, but again, this is not a new injury, guys.
Yeah.
This hard is something he's been dealing with.
Somebody gets injured.
Yeah, look, if Neighbors is out, I don't think he will be out, but if he is, you can go ahead and put Calvin Ridley into your lineup. I mean, that's a solid squad. I mean, I'm even considering Nick Westbrook-Ikini, but you can't sit one of these superstars for him.
No. Yeah, there's going to be points left on your bench. You just got to figure out who's going to give you the least amount of points on your bench.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the trade deadline is probably passed. But I would have done everything in my power to have packaged one of these wide receivers with a Chuba or with a Pacheco to upgrade at running back.
Yeah, running back.
In case your trade deadline hasn't passed, Shane. But it probably has, but just in case it hasn't. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. We do have some team reviews. We will get to Richie's today. As far as Sean and Cole, I think we'll save those for Monday. I'll message Sean and just ask him if he wants it earlier than Monday, which is when our stream is. Let me message him real quick before I forget about it. Okay, cool. All right, we do have another start sit. Sorry, that came up last minute there. So fine. Again, appreciate everybody who's watching the stream. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show some love. Got a like goal today of 50 likes. We're almost halfway there already. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the love. Thanks for the support. And if you want to prioritize your question, you can do that through the website. There's a pinned comment in the chat. Otherwise, we'll get to YouTube right after we finish these website questions. D Merckx is up.
Yeah, appreciate you, D Merckx. Jalen Hurts, Tony Pollard, and David Montgomery here. Just going through as he Breece Hall. I would start Breece Hall over Tony Pollard. Specifically, I'm not sure about you.
Yeah, I agree. If Breece plays, I'd start him over Tony.
That's what I would do there. You start Monty, you start London, you start Jefferson, Trey McBride. At the flex position, you have some really good options here.
Yeah, I love Jacoby this week a lot. Tony's got a great matchup. Jaden Reed. I mean, wow. It's an 8-team start 7, so this makes sense.
I think it's what you need. What do you need? Are you already in the playoffs? And maybe you need to get an extra 10 points to get that tiebreaker, hypothetically, or to get the bye week, then maybe go with the safe floor. If you need to get those extra points and you need to make it to the playoffs, maybe you need to go with that high upside type of play, go with narrative. Maybe this team is going to be down. Maybe that's Jacoby Myers this week, or maybe that's Jaden Reed.
I think we have to start Reed at wide receiver, and then we have to play Jefferson at the flex.
Yeah, that's where I would go.
With no Romeo Doubs tonight, divisional game.
It just depends. I think all these guys, once again, it's just going to score points. You're going to have points on your bench, especially if Bucky Irving doesn't play. Rachaad White could be an interesting play this week.
If Bucky Irving doesn't play, put Rachaad White into the lineup. But I will say this. I think Tony Pollard might have a safer floor than Breece Hall this week. But if you're trying to shoot for the moon, I still think Breece Hall is that shoot for the moon guy. Remember, we're just one game removed from him having a 30-point game. I know people, it's easy to hate on him now. But safety is Pollard, upside is Brees. That's how I'm playing this one.
I'll rock with you there. That's a tough one, but we appreciate you.
All right, I think that's all the questions right now. We have some team reviews, which we'll get to later. But let's come over here to YouTube. Again, guys, if you want to prioritize your questions, you can do that through the Flock site. There is a pinned comment that you can look at. But the first super chat over here is from Juan Dier, who says, Ridley, Reed, or Daddle. Half PPR projected to win by 15 points. Calvin Ridley, Jaden Reed. I'm not considering Rico Dowdle there.
Yeah. For me, this should just be Jaden Reed with the context. No Romeo Dobbs is getting. This is a divisional game, like Zach kind of said in the start. You know, the Packers really want to win this game, so they have to score some points. The Lions are a good run defense. Maybe they stop Josh Jacobs. I don't think we've seen a team stop Josh Jacobs at all this year. This could be the test. So I'm just going to go Jaden Reed. I love Calvin Ridley's matchup this week. He has one of the best matchups against the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I think they can be more dominated on the ground than in the air. So give me Jaden Reed.
Yes. By the way, DK Metcalf and Kim Walker both didn't practice on Thursday, but that's a common thing right now around the NFL. A lot of these players are, just taking a Veterans Day of rest. As far as Ridley and Reed, I have Reed one spot higher. Would not be surprised if Calvin Ridley finishes as like a top 5 wide receiver this week, though, against the Jags. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But with no Romeo Dobbs, that slightly makes me lean Jaden Reed. And I also just don't see a scenario in which the Packers are just dominating and they don't need to throw the ball. So good luck though. It's going to be a tough call. Joe Castle here says Westbrook or Jamison Williams. Westbrook. Oh, like Westbrook-Ikhine.
Westbrook-Ikhine. I think it has to be Westbrook-Ikhine for me. Just gonna ride with the touchdowns. Hope that he gets a touchdown. But like I said, this game could be dominated on the ground. Yeah, I'm just gonna go there. I think it also depends on what you need, Joe. You need high upside. I think Westbrook can actually give you the high upside. But so can Jamo. Both of these guys are the exact same. I guess who do you want? What matchup is more important? Is it the Lions one against the Packers, or is it the Titans versus the Jags? Maybe I'm switching over. Maybe I might go Jamo here actually.
Oh, I was gonna say Jameson from the beginning myself. Someone pointed out to me this week that Jameson hasn't actually been boom bust. He's had a decent floor recently. Like a lot of 10-point games, a lot of 9-point games. Since coming back from that suspension, he's had over 5 targets in every single game, and he's averaging over 6 targets per game. 6 targets to Jamison Williams is enough for me to say, that's a safe enough floor to ride him. Westbrook.
Balls.
Yeah, for real. Westbrook could easily outproduce him, but I can't help but feel like there is a game without a touchdown on the horizon, and when that game comes, you will regret playing him.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. That's right. I was convinced to myself I'm gonna go Jamo there. Pick a defense as well. Bears, Titans, Bucks.
Good question.
I don't want to play the Bears against the 49ers. I know the Titans obviously play the Jags. The Bucks play the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I guess I'll go
Titans. I'll go Bucks.
I'll go Bucks. Yeah, I'm gonna go Bucks there.
Yeah.
Just feel better with that defense they're playing at home.
Your best option there. But yeah, like we said before, I mean the Raiders have been pretty competitive, so anything's possible. Pretty crazy that heading into Week 14, the NFC North has the Lions at 11-1, the Vikings at 10-2, and the Packers at 9-3. Maybe the best division in football, maybe. And then you have the Bears.
Then
everybody's favorite secret playoff before the season. Anyway, appreciate y'all being here with us. Do us a favor, hit that like button to show us some love. Got a like goal today of 50 likes. With your help, I think we can get there. There are no more questions in the chat. But we do need to review Richie's team. We promised him that we would do it before this week because his trade deadline is this week. So let me pull up that information. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see here. Dynasty chalkboard. And let's go ahead and pull up. All right, this will be D12. Let me make one for Richie Lecone.
Big Richie.
I think that's how you say it. Richie Lecone. Let's see here. All right, Richie Lecone. Again, his trade deadline is this week. So normally we do these on the Monday Dynasty stream, but because he needs this information before Monday, we're going to get this out to him now. And by the way, if Sean's out there, let us know if you want this now or if you're happy to wait till Monday. I know Cole said he's happy to wait till Monday because his trade deadline already passed, so it won't really impact it. But yeah, all right, Richie Rich here. Let's see. I'm just bringing up everything that I need. Okay, go ahead and read the context here for Richie Rich. By the way, sorry, just quickly, if you guys are watching this and you want your team reviewed, it can be a Dynasty team or a redraft team. We've officially released the playbook. Again, you can get a Dynasty playbook or just a regular playbook. If you're in a Dynasty or a redraft team, get your team playbook. You can either get it through the website. I'll put a link in the chat here. All right, so just go to the team review section. And then once you're in the team review section, you know, make sure you link up your league. It'll be easier that way. But once you select what team you are, so for example, my name is Do It For Chris. We'll go continue, Zach and Badaki here. The regular version is offline, and if you remember, there's a discount on it. And then if you want us to do it on a live stream, there's just $10 more on the live stream. But yeah, that's an option to anybody. Shout out to Richie. Now you can see Richie says free. Well, that's because Richie became a member. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is the other option. If you want to become a yearly member with the promo code LAND on the Mother Flocker tier, you get a complimentary team playbook along with the rookie report for 2025, all the premium tools. You get a free start sit, a free trade question voucher on the website, all the databases, articles, etc. So he decided to go for the yearly membership, but Aki and I believe that's the best bang for your buck. All right, let's go ahead and read the information here.
Appreciate you, Richie. So looking at his team is a 1 quarterback, 10 team, start 9 half PPR. Says think I'll be good to lock in a buy, but trade deadline is this week and want to move these draft picks to maybe make a push for something else. Okay. So he is currently 9-4. This is a start 9, which means he's probably middle ground.
Yep, middle ground format. 3 flexes or 3 wide receivers in your starting lineup. There's two towers here. 2 Shaqs.
Yeah.
Passing it over to you there.
No. Sorry, I was just writing down. I was writing stuff down. Yes, there are 2 towers, 2 Shaqs, like you said, guys that are dominating the league with super, super pumped teams. And one is Richie here. So let's look at this team. There's 1 quarterback. Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Aiden O'Connell. This is a phenomenal quarterback room. Maybe we can utilize one of these quarterbacks to get some good value somewhere else. At the running back position, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Chuba Hubbard, Jordan Mason, Nick Chubb, and the list goes on. That's a decent running back room. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor, we weren't big on this year for a lot of reasons. Josh Jacobs is coming up to do what he does, and Chuba Hubbard is looking all right now. So that's going to be interesting. At the wide receiver position, you have Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, the 1-2 punch in Dynasty. Then you have Jaden Reed, Tyreek Hill, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin, and honestly, the list goes on, obviously. But it's a good starting lineup. You can start up to 5 wide receivers, and you also have Sam Laporta, Michael Mayer, and Will Disley with, it looks like your first round pick. No, it's not your first round pick, but you do have a 25 first of Rico, who is currently last in your league according to rankings. According to this standings, excuse me. So it is very interesting. But looking at the starting lineup really quick, it is a start 9. Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Josh Jacobs, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. At tight end, you have Sam Laporta. And then you can start Jaden Reed, Tyreek Hill, And then obviously the likes of Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, et cetera, et cetera. Those are your starting 9 right there.
Yeah.
But I think this is great. I think this is a great team. But you're trying to make a trade to make a push, just to make your team a little bit better in the playoffs here. I think
Team
we can help you do
incredible.
that.
Really, really good team. I'll just say this, like, he's also got a first-round pick. It's not his own. I'm very curious to see where that lies. So can we do that real quick? He has Rico Suave's first pick, and that is the team that's 5-8. So this guy's a genius, right? I mean, he has one of the worst teams records in the league's first-round pick. He has a stacked roster. He doesn't have his own first-round pick. He's made moves. He's playing chess while everybody else is playing checkers. And yeah, it's great to see. If we had to give him a grade on a scale of an A to an F, I'm saying this is an A minus. This is an A minus for me.
Yeah, I like A minus as well, and especially with the draft capital, I think that puts him over to that spot.
Yeah.
I might actually just give him an A with the draft capital.
And thinking of his starting lineup, by the way, would be like Allen Hurts, and then Taylor Jacobs. Then you'd have Chase, Jefferson, Laporta, or Disley. I guess that's 7. Then you have 2 more flex spots, which you would fill with Jane Reed and Tyreek Hill, or Jane Reed and Sutton actually is a better play than Tyreek right now, or you could do Jane Reed and Chuba Hubbard, or Chuba Hubbard and Sutton, given matchups, or Tyreek and Sutton. You've got a lot of flexibility there with your flex, and they're good quality flexes as well, kind of across the board. I mean, you have all of your 2026 first-round picks. You've done a great job, all the way across the board with this one. So yeah, well done. Again, you said A flat. I'm happy to give him an A flat if we want to meet there. Draft capital is pretty good. I'd give it, it's nothing out of this world. I'd give it a solid B, just a flat B.
Yeah, B flat. Just because of that draft capital, looks like you might have a top 3 pick if this is going to continue. He is one of the bottom. Now watch me, who is 3-10, and then there's 2 5-8 teams. So I think you might have a top 3 pick there, however way that's going to go. But this is a great starting lineup here, no doubt about it.
I absolutely agree. And in a league like this, again, a 1 quarterback 10 team start 9. It is half PPR, 1 quarterback 10 team start 9. I'm gonna say running backs are actually the most important in a half PPR. I put wide receivers right. Actually, in Dynasty, I'm still gonna go wide receiver. My bad. So wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback in that order. I think is gonna be your most important in this format. But all right, this is why everybody comes to us for a team review. That's the chalkboard. This is where we come up with as many ideas as we possibly can to improve both your redraft and your dynasty teams. Again, if you guys want to get your team reviewed, there's a team review section here with the pinned comment. I'll put it in again. And again, everybody who buys a team review, if you get the live one, it's done live. But either way, even if you get the regular version, you get sent a playbook within 48 hours, exact moves to make in either your dynasty or redraft league. But all right, let's have a look at his team. So to me, pathway for a team like this, I mean, you're a contender for sure.
You're a contender. Contender Thanos, low key. Well, let's look at this. The other Thanos, Bijan Butcherson, Jaden Reed, Jordan Love, Bijan Brees. Ooh, Devon.
Yeah.
This guy has better running backs. He has Amon-Ra, Brian Thomas, Chris Olave.
I don't think we can call him Thanos with another roster like that. Definitely a contender though.
100%.
But yeah, everything that we're going to do right now is just putting ourselves in a little bit of a better position to go out and win the whole thing. Because yes, in Dynasty, we like to be a young team, but I like to win championships in Dynasty. That's what matters to me the most. So I think every move we make is going to be built around how do we give ourselves the best chance to win it all. I think Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts, one of these names is expendable, right? So trade one of Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts. All right. So if either of those guys we can move to improve a different area of our roster, I think it's worth doing.
Sorry, Helen.
And then I think it could definitely be worth our time to add the waiver section here, which I know they're working on. Outside of that, I think you can afford to try to move a Nick Chubb. I don't mind the idea of trying to move a Amari Cooper, a Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper, or even a Sam Laporta.
Mm. Uh, yeah, I would agree. I'm happy with that.
It's probably a bad time to sell a lot of these guys, but I'm not opposed to like using Laporta plus something to go get like a Brock Bowers as an example. I think the untouchables would be your Jamar Chase, your Justin Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I agree.
Your holds would be your Chris Godwins. You got another one that comes to mind there?
The other one I would like to hold as of right now is Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, given his current team and like his goals.
Yeah, and how he's kind of what he's doing on the field as well. I think is pretty great. I think there's a couple drops here for sure. I would say Khalil Herbert is a drop.
Yeah,
That's my opinion.
probably. I mean, for this playoff run, you might as well hold him if you can.
Yeah, like these are guys you can drop once the season's over. So when you're watching this and listening to this, you can hold these guys, but drop them once the season's over. I'm going to drop Sincere McCormick as well.
I wouldn't put McCormick on that list yet because I want to see what he does if he has that starting role. But I would definitely agree with you with Khalil Herbert. Mm-hmm. And I would add MVS to that list as well when
at the end of the season.
Over. Yeah,
like Khalil Herbert and Sincere at the end of the season, and then
that's
MVS.
Okay, so if Sincere wins the starting job for the rest of the season, are you going to drop him?
I personally would. I don't think
I don't see a reason why you would drop him if he actually wins the starting job, though.
I think my expectation is that like he hasn't won a starting job ever, and this is a stacked.
He's never had a chance though. I mean, he was an undrafted free agent. He's never had a chance to play. Look,
okay, yeah, that's fine. Look,
the chances are he's not a startable name, but if he wins the job, I would much rather drop MVS, an old MVS, than a guy who wins the job. You know, just to see what he could be.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So if you're going to write down two names, I just feel like those are the two names I'd write down.
Okay.
Is there another name that you would rather drop than MVS, other than Sincere? Because I don't see one.
No, I don't see one either.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see one. That's good. I think that's good so far. What we have, because we can we can technically fill in 4 spots. So we can technically have 2 empty spots that we can give him to either hold, drop, or hold.
Probably drop AOC. Jay Gonjo is a good point in a 1 quarterback league. You can probably drop him, but you don't need to. Again, like Badaki said, you don't need to drop any of these names yet. But let's find a team that needs a quarterback. All right, let's sort this league by quarterback strength. For example, Now Watch Me Coup. They have Nico Collins. They have Trey McBride. This could be perfect. Now, this team is clearly not competing for this year, but a lot of dynasty teams in the playoffs, like they have this thing where like, okay, toilet bowl winner wins the number 1 pick, right? So a lot of these guys have something to play for in the playoffs, which is cool. I know for us, Badaki, we kind of invented, and it was our original idea to make the toilet bowl a competition for a comp pick in dynasty rookie drafts. No one had done that before us. So, you know, again, that's why the playoffs still mean something for these bad teams. So I think Trey McBride's a perfect target, and so is Nico Collins. I would love to turn either Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts, I don't care which one it is, Sam Laporta,
or that,
and Tyreek Hill or something. Like Sam Laporta. Okay, so again, Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts plus Sam Laporta plus Tyreek Hill. Can I turn that into Trey McBride and Nico Collins? And maybe you can get something else on top, but I'm not sure you would need it. I mean, to me, Nico Collins and Tyreek Hill are in completely different tiers in Dynasty now. It's not even close. Nico would be a tier 1 wide receiver. Tyreek, you know, moves into that category, which he should have already been, of like, there's no reason to own him unless you're competing.
Yeah, I agree.
Could you get an additional piece on top of this? I don't think you could, but I mean, you can try a 2nd and 3rd swap on top. Remember, it's not super flex league.
No, it's not super flex. The only, well, I guess this guy is not competing right now. I would say the only hard part right now is that I don't think anyone wants to sell Trey McBride. He might be the tight end 2, even over Sam Laporta right now in Dynasty.
Oh, he definitely is.
So I'm not saying you can't get this done. Just saying I think it might be a bit difficult based off of this year and how Sam Laporta has performed because you took him really high either in your rookie drafts. Well, if you started this startup last year, probably took him really high.
Oh, it's 2 years ago, actually, though.
Yeah, actually 2 years ago now,
For
which
sure.
is crazy. But you get what I'm saying.
Sure, it might be hard, but it's worth trying. And you can, I would even accept it if you didn't get the picks on top. I'd be fine with that. I think he's the perfect target. If we just want to do a Trey McBride swap, can we send him Sam Laporta? I mean, would Sam Laporta plus a second get you in the conversation? I don't know, but I would try it. I would certainly give it a go, especially because your second is a late second. So I think that's worth trying. Let's see. A team that's 5-8. They have Drake May. They might not like.
Yeah, they may not want to get somebody.
Yeah, they might not be interested.
I would be interested in. I mean, this is what now, so it's just more difficult.
I don't think that team's going to work, unfortunately.
Curiosity.
This is the problem in 10-team leagues as well.
Yeah.
How about the guy who has
one quarterback league.
Herbert, Purdy, Prescott? I mean, surely I know he's got a deep quarterback room, but would that really turn you off to like a superstar? I don't know. I don't think it would. So I think it's worth at least offering and trying to get like a Ladd and Njoku. So for example, Josh Allen plus what to try and get a McConkey plus Njoku, right? Because Njoku, I mean, plus Sam Laporta. Maybe that works. I don't know. I'd try it.
I think my biggest thing is trying to. Yeah. Let's do that. McConkey and Njoku. I would like to try like a McConkey and Jahmyr Gibbs, but you won't have another tight end. That's the only downfall there.
Yeah, well, Gibbs is one of the most valuable players in a one quarterback league, so I think you're going to have to like 3 first-round picks at minimum.
Well, the reason why I want to give up Jahmyr Gibbs is because of Jonathan Taylor. I'm not a huge believer in Jonathan Taylor. Well, let me rephrase that. I like Jonathan Taylor. Didn't like the situation with Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure that's going to change anytime soon. He's still a young player. Now, if you package Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor, I think there's a lot of name value there. What I think maybe somebody would be interested in a Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs plus something for you in return. But that's kind of where my thought process will go.
By the way, if anyone's watching this, we will get to all your super chats and your we'll get to the YouTube chat later on too. But we're just trying to prioritize this guy who's supporting us with his team review. You guys would probably want the same as well. Hopefully you understand. But write down what you're thinking then.
Yeah. So we can do. Once again, it's probably not ideal to give a tight end, but we can do like a Josh Allen plus Jonathan Taylor. And then you can potentially get a Gibbs and something. Right?
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out what that something is. So maybe Gibbs and Ladd? I feel like you can even get more.
I don't think you can get more.
This.
I think you're thinking from a super flex mindset too much here.
Okay. Well, that is something that I would be interested in because once again, I think you tier up from Jahmyr Gibbs. You do have Josh Allen. You do have Jalen Hurts already. So I think Jahmyr Gibbs and potentially Josh Allen may not be on the same scale in a one quarterback, but it's really close. And then you not only get a young player, but you also get Ladd McConkey that can fill in at that wide receiver position. So,
okay, I don't mind this idea. I don't think it gets accepted because I struggle to see someone in a one quarterback doing it. But let's add on to it. I think you'd have to send a first to get it done, and I think you could add Njoku as another tight end. So I think you'd have to send Allen, Taylor, and a first for Gibbs, Ladd, and Njoku. I could be wrong, but I just don't think anything less than that.
I think that's just way too much. Like I wouldn't do that.
But why would he accept that deal then? I just don't understand. Nobody wants Jonathan Taylor right now. Josh Allen, he's not the same Josh Allen, and he's a quarterback. Like, what is the Gibbs and McConkey owner? How are they benefiting from it at all outside of a first-round pick?
I think he's getting Josh Allen. And yeah, he may not be like. I think it's kind of the same with like Sam Laporta. Like, yeah, Sam Laporta's not having a good year. He's still a young player, but like, why would I send Trey McBride for Sam Laporta in a second? Like, I might as well just keep Trey McBride. You get what I'm saying? I think it's just because of
a
the
guy who has
of that
Herbert,
player.
Purdy, and Prescott and Penix is going to send Gibbs and McConkey away for Josh Allen and Jonathan Taylor.
Maybe.
It's just one of those where we see it fundamentally a little bit differently, but we'll leave all the options on the table. Mm-hmm. I think you'd have to overpay, and I don't think this is paying too much if you add your first. Don't add your first. Add a future first.
Well, this first, yeah, it can't be the 25 first because that first is going to be a top 3 pick, it looks like, or a top 5 pick. So you definitely want to keep that first from, I forgot the guy's name. I think it's Rico Suave, if I'm not mistaken.
There's not another team that really needs a quarterback, unfortunately. Again, you could try the Rico Suave. I mean, if you hit him with Josh Allen and, you try and get your way into JSN.
Would you do like a... Nah, that guy's not going to do it. He's competing right now.
I think
once again, trying to get rid of Jonathan Taylor, I thought of like. I
don't think anybody wants him right now, to be honest. I think he's a really tough piece to move. I think he's almost a hold like Josh Jacobs. We might have exhausted trade options at this point for those quarterbacks. But how about a Chubb Amari deal? Is there a team that's competing that needs running back? For example, this team is 7-6. They have Joe Mixon and no one else. So this could be perfect. Can we send in Chubb? I mean, I'd like to find my way into Ayuk for next year. So could I send him Chubb plus a second for Ayuk? Would I accept that? Hell no. Would I send it? Sure. Why not? Fire it away. I'll send him Chubb. Honestly, I would take a second at this point for Chubb. He's certainly never going to be more valuable than that. So yeah, that team could make a lot of sense. You got another team that's 6-7. I don't think they would need him. The guy who's 6-7, TG, might be interested. Can we send him Chubb? Can we get Jacoby Myers? Can we get Blake Corum? Right?
Yep.
I think that's interesting. All right, how about Amari Cooper? I'll be honest. I think he's the most tough name to sell. I really don't imagine anyone's interested, except maybe this guy who has Wan'Dale Robinson as his wide receiver 3. I mean, you just keep finding perfect fits. This is rare. It doesn't happen typically. He has Brock Bowers. Okay, here's what we're going to try and do. This is not going to get accepted. I'm going to send you Amari Cooper. I'm going to send you Sam Laporta. And I'm going to send you a 26 first. And I want Brock Bowers.
Yep. I like that. Let's try it.
All right, I think we have exhausted all options at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much. I mean, you already have a good team overall. So just trying to make it to the playoffs.
I'd like to keep that 25 first, by the way, because it looks to be the 101, if possible. Because, if you add Ashton Genty in here, it gets a little too one-sided.
Yeah, exactly. So I think if you keep that first, that's automatically going to change this team around with Josh Jacobs. You have some great depth there at the running back position. If you still can't get that done, I know Marshawn Lloyd struggled with injuries, but you do have Josh Jacobs. If he goes down with injury next year, hypothetically, Marshawn Lloyd is the next guy up there. Jordan Mason, what's going to happen with CMC? Is he going to be the next guy up, or do they draft a running back? I feel like this team is really good. My biggest concern is that RB2, which you're probably going to be starting maybe Chuba Hubbard. You've probably been flip-flopping between Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Taylor. And if that is of the first-round pick, then Ashton Genty is instantly going to be changing your team immediately.
Yeah.
So overall, this is a great team. I think what we
You
have
do
here
hope
is
for a
good.
Laporta bounce back as well, so you don't have to sell Sam Laporta, in Dynasty. But my 4 favorite trades, I will say the Brock Bowers trade is my favorite. I don't think it happens. I loved your idea for Gibbs and McConkey, but I just don't think you're paying enough. So I don't know whether to highlight that one or not. I love the Nico Collins one.
Yeah, let's do that.
And I highlighted 2,
Cool.
you highlight 2 then.
Yeah, I'll do mine. And then we can do. Let's just do one of the running backs.
Okay, yeah.
For you.
Yeah, I think that's a good one too. Those are
Just
our 4
give
favorite
some variety.
trades. Again, your playbook, my friend, Richie, will be sent to your message tab on Flock Fantasy where you sent the review in the first place. You'll get a message here within 48 hours with your playbook specifically designed for your Dynasty team. If you guys are watching this, you have a Dynasty or a redraft team that you want reviewed, you can get a live stream if you do the live tier at checkout with the team review, or you can just get an offline version, whatever you prefer. But if you want your team playbook, you can get one through the link in the chat that I just put in there. You can see the team review section here, right? Obviously, make sure your team is all linked up. If you haven't signed up for an account on Flock Fantasy yet, you can use the promo code LAND, LAND, to get a free account, or you can become a yearly Mother Flocker member and get a free playbook. But once you're there, you'll see Zach and Fantasyland, Zach and Badaki. It's just $10 extra to get your team reviewed live like we just did for Richie there. But yeah, appreciate you, man. Again, that playbook will be sent to your message system here within 48 hours. Great team. Good luck in the future. Let's go win a championship, baby.
Yeah, all love, man. Thank you so much for the support. And like Zach said, you'll be getting that within 24 to 48 hours. I'll try and get that knocked out as soon as possible because I know you have a trade deadline. So I'll try and get that to you potentially in the next 24 hours. But we do have some questions on the Flog Fantasy website.
Okay,
Thank you guys for being patient.
And we will get to YouTube, we promise.
To YouTube, exactly. Everyone that's waiting on YouTube, we appreciate you. We see those guys. I think Michael Harry did donate on YouTube. We will get to you guys. We like to prioritize the website. First, and the first question on the website is Saul
Bruin.
Sal Bruin. This is 1 quarterback, 10 team start. 7 quarterbacks are Jalen Hurts, James Cook, Kyrie Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You have Nico Collins on a bye with Jawan Jennings and Jacoby Myers. I like Jacoby Myers over Jawan this week, personally.
Same. Love him against the Bucks.
Yeah, at the flex position, you have some really good options, but I'm going to go Tyrone Tracy over Jawan Jennings this week.
Great matchup against the Saints. Should be Tracy and neighbor season. So, yeah, really good lineup, man. You're looking really solid here in week 14. Great.
Appreciate you.
All right, B-Dog is next here. Go ahead.
B-Dog, who do I start if Bucky is out, assuming him if he is in? Okay, so quarterbacks, Brock Purdy or Russell Wilson, which is a great question.
I agree.
Brock Purdy has been struggling. I don't think it's been, well, I mean, to be fair, he's been injured. So he's been
injured and he got into the snow game. I don't think we can account that.
Yeah, we can't really do that.
But I will say, without Christian McCaffrey and, with the weird vibes over there, I would go Russell Wilson myself.
Yeah, I was just going to look at what Russell Wilson was since he's became the starter, which was week 7 to 13. Russell Wilson is QB 16. Within that span, week 7 to 13, Brock Purdy is QB 21. But keep in context, if I'm not mistaken, he did miss that week 12 game. So
yeah, also can't really account for that snow game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Russell Wilson there with you.
I like the matchup versus Cleveland. Neighbors, Higgins, Bowers, and that the flex. Yeah, Bucky is the answer if he's healthy. If he's not, Tyrone's a fantastic option too.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to hurt either way here, my friend. I think you're in a great spot no matter what. If Bucky plays, you play him. And if he doesn't, Tyrone's a fantastic option as well. For 90% of people in fantasy, in 12-team leagues in particular, Tyrone's a must-start. So you're in a great spot.
Yeah, I would just say this. If you're worried about re-injury for Bucky and say like Bucky is like, oh, he's gonna work out and then he's a game time decision and then he ends up playing, I think I might just want to avoid it. I feel like we see a lot of those players, get re-injured and only play a certain amount of snaps. Maybe you just want to go with the safe floor and somebody that you know is going to play the whole game. Obviously, injury, you can't predict it, but I would agree. You start Bucky, but if
Yeah,
you have a weird feeling, you also, like Zach said, have a really good other option in Tyrone Tracy. Was a great matchup this week.
I agree. All right, B. Lopez here with a start sit. We have no idea who their quarterback options are. They didn't select anyone at quarterback.
I think he's in the chat. So if you are in the chat, just put who your quarterback's option is in the chat, and then we can definitely answer that question.
Yeah, just when you go through
think-
and you're when you're answering your questions, I think the best thing to do is first to link up your team in the My Team section. Again, if you don't have an account, you can get one for free with the promo code LAND, and then everybody gets the My Team feature when they use our promo code at sign up. But it just makes it easier once you're going to like the start sit. It automatically links up both your starting lineup and all your settings, and then you just have to let us know if like. I know I'm playing Joe Burrow this week, great. But at running back, I'm considering Sincere McCormick and Tajay Spears because all my other guys are on bye, right? So you go through each section, right? So just to let you guys know, if in case it's your first time, and but he did say Kyler Murray or Jordan Love are his options this week.
For me, it would be Jordan Love.
I agree.
A divisional game, high scoring game, no weather elements. They're playing in Detroit. It's going to be a
Want to beat
huge
this team through the air, not on the ground.
High scoring game. So I'm going to go with Jordan Love. At the running back position, I'm going to go Jahmyr Gibbs and then Chase Brown downtown. Let's see, you have Tyrone Tracy. Maybe we can start him in the flex as well. You also have Amon-Ra St. Brown. You start Malik Neighbors as well, which we believe he is going to play. You start Trey McBride. And then at the flex, this is a 10-team, start 7. Gosh, so this is some good options here.
Jeez.
Tyrone, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, Garrett Wilson.
I'd love to
Really
have this problem. I'd love to be like, who do I play? You guys want to see my team in the Flock League this week? I'm facing Badaki. I'm playing
practice?
Joe Burrow, Sincere McCormick, Tajay Spears. We've got Neighbors Evans. I'm
I'll be
playing
honest.
Kraft, McBride, and MVS.
I have a bad feeling.
You think I'm going to win? I'd have no Derrick Henry, Mixon, Taylor, or McLaurin.
I have a bad feeling. I feel like the fantasy gods don't want me to win. So Sincere's going to have a career game. MVS is playing the Giants, who he could probably just get 2 touchdowns for over 50 yards. Romeo Dobbs is not playing, so Tucker Kraft can have another game. I mean, Tajay Spears is playing one of the best matchups, even though he is a backup to Tony Pollard. I don't like it. I don't like it. It's just a setup for failure.
Anything's possible. That's the beauty of fantasy football. I watched Sincere McCormick have a 30 burger. I want you to get in. I don't want to win, to be very clear. I mean, I'm setting the best lineup I could, but I want Badaki to be in because if it's not me, I want someone from Fantasyland to win. But at the flex spot, you've got
for me,
a lot of great options. Hey,
I think for me, this would be not Gary Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba if DK doesn't play. DK doesn't practice today. If he doesn't practice tomorrow, I think that's a big indication. Last time Jackson Smith and Jigba played the Arizona Cardinals, he had 19 fantasy points, 6 out of 7 targets, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Maybe we want to continue that streak. Garrett Wilson is more boom bust. So if you need a safe floor, I think it's Jackson Smith and Jigba.
And I'll say this: if DK plays, I would play Tyrone. Love the matchup for Tyrone against the Saints. It's one of the best matchups in fantasy football this year. I'm actually going to tell you exactly how good it is. It is the 4th best matchup. On average to an entire running back room, giving up over 27 points per game. So yeah, it just seems like such a safe matchup there with Tyrone. So I'll go Tyrone unless DK's out, then I'll switch to JSN. But you've got incredible options, man. Really, really good options. I'm not going to lie to you there.
Yeah.
But I think, do we have any more questions? We have one more from No More CDTD. It's a start sit. It's a 1 quarterback, 10-team start 7. They're starting Jordan Love because Bo Nix is on bye. They've got Alvin Kamara, I'm guessing. Okay, so one running back, 2 flexes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that would make sense. They've got Lad McConkey and CeeDee Lamb starting right now, which makes a lot of sense. At tight end, I'm going to start TJ Hawkinson. He's just been far more reliable than Dalton Kincaid, and we don't know what Kincaid's role will be coming back from that injury. In the flex spot, I think you have Tyrone, who's an auto start for me. And then after Tyrone, I think between Najee, Brian Thomas, and Darnell Mooney, it's a very tough call. Najee, I think his matchup is pretty terrible. Yeah, it's one of the worst matchups against the Browns. I do believe he's touchdown or bust this week. That's a little scary. Brian Thomas is a little scary with Mac Jones, but to be fair, Mac Jones was the one who gave him the touchdown last week, and there's no L'Jarius Sneed. But I believe that Darnell Mooney is probably your safest option. It's the return of Kirk Cousins to Minnesota. It's a high over-under. The Minnesota Vikings are the second best matchup for your wide receiver. Funnily enough, the Vikings are the first. So we should, it doesn't always happen, but we should see a lot of points from fantasy wide receivers. I'm going to go Mooney, but it's close with Thomas there.
For me, this is close with Najee and Mooney.
Okay.
Once again, love the matchup. Love the matchup with Cleveland. Obviously, it was snowing there. Najee has just been getting so many opportunities, and if they get in that red zone, he will score. At least, not. Let me rephrase that. Not that he will score, but like I'm believing for him to score.
Sure. I think he could. I think.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, though, he's going to be a mistake. That's too scary for me.
So it's definitely a toss in the air. Like Zach said, I think it's a safer floor, but
I could agree. Najee is a safer floor. I could agree with you there.
Yeah. But appreciate you. No more CDs, TDs. I don't think we have any other questions on the site, which we appreciate each and every one of you, which means we are going to YouTube.
Yes, we are.
And the first one on
Michael,
YouTube.
go ahead.
Yeah. And PPR 6 and 7 versus 6 and 7 need 1 running back and 2 flex. So here are your options: White, Nick Westbrook-Ikini, Amari Cooper, Devonta Smith, TJ Hawkinson. So at the running back position, you're going to be starting Rachaad White because that's the only running back that you gave. And 2 flex, I would be going Devonta Smith and TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. Sorry, so we're basically choosing 3. You said White, you said Smith, Hawkinson. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd flex Hawkinson.
Yeah. The second question is have PPR, need 2. Neighbors really.
I'm gonna go Neighbors and Tracy.
Yeah, I'm going Neighbors and Tracy as well.
Love Ridley this week. Love the matchup. I can say the same for the other 2, and I just feel better about the other 2's floor. That's at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to. But I don't know if people saw my puppy. He came in here on his own. He's taking a nap right behind me. Beanie.
Love to see it.
Yeah, good boy. Yeah, it's okay. You can go back to sleep. Cutie. Harry here with the next super chat. Go ahead.
Start golf or Tua. Let's start there. Golf or Tua. I definitely want to start Jared Goff. Has Tua played the Jets this year before his injury or after? No, he has not. I'm gonna go Jared Goff. Tua has been on a hot streak though, low key.
Yeah, he has been. Yeah, no, he hasn't played the Jets yet. This is his first game against them.
The Jets defense not scary. You can score on them,
Yeah, so Tua or Goff, I mean that's a tough one. Looking at my rankings, they would say Tua. The concern with Goff is just they score so many rushing touchdowns.
Rushing touchdowns, that's the problem, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Tua. But it's a tough call. It's real close. At flex, you have, I guess, one option between Elijah, Parker, Cooks, and Chubb. I'll probably go Elijah there, just with the way they're flinging the ball in Cleveland.
I wasn't wrong. I was just early. Talk it up.
Could be. Absolutely could be. I think you could put me in Cleveland, and I'd give you 15. With the way they're throwing the ball.
Dude, shout out to James. Come to New York.
Please.
Brad McCoy. Drop Kareem Hunt for Braylon Allen.
I would if Brees Hall misses it and you need a start. If
That's
Brees Hall
where I
misses
was
it and you
gonna
need a
say.
start, yes, but
If not, I'm just keeping Kareem Hunt.
yeah.
Yeah.
But to be honest, like let's be honest, Kareem Hunt is a handcuff at this point. So is Braylon Allen, and Brees Hall's been dealing with injuries that keep coming up. Why not stash Braylon at this point over Kareem Hunt? So I think either way, I'd be comfortable to do that. There's already an injury that you're thinking about.
Yeah. Maybe that is the case. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hickey Son. Thank you so much. He said, with Chase question, do I play Jamo over Garrett? Then I have Garrett if Chase is out, or do I play Warren if bad news on Chase? You talking about Jamar Chase? I'm not necessarily concerned about Jamar Chase. He was limited in practice.
I'd be shocked if he doesn't play.
Don't overreact to that. You're gonna start Jamar Chase. If there is a world that he doesn't play, I would start Garrett Wilson over Jamo. If Chase is out, so that's what I would do. I wouldn't start Jamo over that.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you there, but I do think Chase plays. Okay, those are all of the super chats, and those are all of the website questions. Of course, if you guys do want to prioritize any question of yours, you can do that through our website, and I'll put a link in the chat for you now. It's also in the pinned comments. But what we'll do at this point is we'll answer 5 questions at random before we log off for the day, and it'll be just anybody, but Livewire is here. What's up, man? He says, the question is, will all of Zach's players get the flu against Badaki's team this week? Hashtag Sal can't win.
All of Zach's players should be on the bench.
I actually thought about that, but then I knew the league would be upset with me.
People would genuinely be upset. I know.
Yeah.
I just wish he didn't have. I wish he didn't have anyone. I wish he didn't have Tajay or Sincere. I wish he didn't pick them up. He should have just left it empty.
Well, I picked up Sincere because if Jonathan Taylor's dog shit, I can play Sincere versus Jacksonville week 16.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, but
you just need to come through clutch. You need
I don't
to
have
come
I don't have a good.
There's
I
no
don't have
excuses.
a good feeling. I do not have a good feeling. That's why I don't have a good feeling because there's no excuses. And if I lose, it's like it just wasn't meant to be for me.
Yeah. All right. 5 questions at random to end the stream. Okay, we're going to try and help out as many as we can. And I always like to find people who have usernames I don't recognize. Big Homie Clean. I definitely would have remembered this name. Have not seen him before. And he says, Cade Otton or Pat Fryermuth. I know Cade's obvious, but my gut says Pat. How about y'all? Okay, this is 1 out of 5 here of the regular questions to end the stream. My rankings say Cade.
Yeah, agreed.
I can see a scenario in which Pat is the better answer, but I think you have to hope that Las Vegas can be competitive and make Cade necessary for at least 3 quarters. Yeah. And I think if Cade is, then you'll be happy. But ultimately, whoever scores a touchdown will be the better option, and neither make.
I hope Mike doesn't play for my mental health, because Zach has Mike Evans, and I have Cade Alton. And if Mike doesn't play, Cade Alton gets opportunity. So,
yeah, appreciate your live wire, man. I'll be honest, guys, I had no idea what clips to send in this week. I genuinely didn't know what to do, so did my best. All right, question 2 out of 5. Let's go to Maddie, who says, if Chase is out, play Cup. Yes, absolutely. I mean, look. I would say the majority of people, 90% of people are playing Cup regardless, right? So if he's a backup option, you've got a great team. And then Tua or Baker, I'm going to rock with Baker Mayfield. Just purely the aura of Baker Mayfield, right? I mean, when Baker rushes for first downs, he slides. He doesn't dolphin dive, all right? And that's important. All right, that was question 2 out of 5. Question 3 out of 5. Let's go to Kurz. This is 3 out of 5. And Kurz says, Adam Thielen or Rome or Jordan Love.
Adam Thielen or Rome.
Oh, that's a different question. My bad.
Wait,
I'm going to say Adam Thielen over Rome Odunze.
Yes.
And then I'm going to say Jordan Love over
Jordan
Kyler.
Love. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
We're on the same page. I just read it like an idiot.
Yeah, I was like, wait, well. On the same page. 4 out of 5 is next.
Uh-huh. Rashad or Christian Watson from Jake here. I'm going to say Rashad White, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Rashad White.
Yeah. And then the last one for today. Let's do mine yours. Who says DK, Addison, or JMO? I'm still gonna start DK, but
DK, Addison, or JMO.
I could see.
I'm gonna sick of DK. Yeah.
I could see Jameson being, the play because he's so boom bust. But if I knew DK was playing, I'd go him. And I think Addison's a fine pivot because of the matchup versus Atlanta.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. If DK doesn't play, you pivot to Addison because obviously JMO's playing in 15 minutes, so you have a good pivot there. So don't stress about it. Just start JMO. Not JMO. Start Addison if DK does not go.
All right, guys. Good luck this week. We appreciate you. Good luck tonight. Much love. We'll see you soon.
Love.